Hey everyone, I'm back and I want to share with you another great tip. And this time I'm going to talk about quality versus quantity. After looking on Facebook, there was some discussion about, how many items you should have and what's a good amount and things like that. And I know those were some of the questions that I had in my mind when I first started out. I didn't know, how much should I get, or should I just keep shopping, shopping, shopping? Because you hear people saying, you should get out there and pick. You got to go picking today. You got to pick tomorrow. You got to pick every day. So basically what I think, and this is just my experience, it may work for some people and you may just be an everyday picker, but I found that when you're out, when you're first starting out, what you want to do is rev up your inventory. So you want to go out there and get a lot of stuff, but at the same time you want to make sure that it's stuff that you want to sell, and that you're going to be able to make a profit off of it. So when you're getting these items, just make sure that those two ideas are in your head, because a lot of times you'll go into the thrift store or whatever store, and then you'll just be like, okay, you're just overwhelmed. So just make sure that it's going to be in the area where you want to sell these items. So once you do that, then go ahead and get as much money as you plan to spend to get your items. Go ahead and do that so you can get a good amount of stuff in your store to get people the traffic coming to your store. So once you do that, you can get a feel for what's going to sell and what's just going to sit around, which I call sitters. So pretty much what I did is I got a feel for the things that sold, and I got a feel for the things that didn't sell. Once I did that, then I knew what to look for, the next time that I would go out and shop. So once I found out what to look for, I set my budget according to, the quality items and how much I want to spend on those items. So just make sure when you are getting those items that you're spending not a lot of money where you're not going to make a profit, because you want to definitely, that's the whole goal, to make a profit. So you want to kind of look for those items, and then some ways that you can do that is get on those thrift store and whatever stores you go to, get on their email list, find out which days they are having their 50% off sales. Some of them will have holiday sales. I just got an email the other day where one of the stores that I regularly attend is having a $4 sale. So I will be attending that sale tomorrow. So you want to, make sure that you're, getting that information. Another thing is to look at Craigslist. There's people selling things on Craigslist all the time, and they're willing to make deals with you. A lot of times people will price something, but if it's taking too long to sell, you can negotiate with them, and they'll make some deals with you that way. I've come up on a lot of stuff on sale on Craigslist, and I also sell on Craigslist myself. So that's another way that you can go ahead and shop for those quality items without spending so much money. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the space where you're storing these items, because a lot of people don't have a lot of space. Like myself, I don't have a whole bunch of space to store the stuff that I want to sell. So I'll go in and I'll get so many items, but I'll keep stocked. I'll keep everything stocked up all the time. So I'm not shopping as much as I used to in the beginning, but I do shop because when stuff sells, I want to maintain my goal of how much money I'm making. So I'm constantly just putting items back into my store. So that's what you want to make sure that you're going to do. If you don't have the space, just kind of set a nice little space aside, and just kind of keep that area stocked. But if you do have the space, go ahead and just knock it out. Get as many items as you want, especially if they're having a nice sale. You want to go ahead and get all of those items at a great cost. So I really encourage you to do that. So, and then another thing is, people always ask about, how do I get rid of stuff that don't sell, or should I start out with an auction or buy it now? I usually like to start out with an auction. Like when I first started, I started out with auctions because I wasn't really sure like where the items would, sell. And then I, learned about sold listings, so that helped a lot. Then I was able to kind of like, get a feel for, where my items would sell. But now, since I know which items I'm looking for, I pretty much know what they're going to sell for. But don't get me wrong, there are still a lot of items out there that I'm not comfortable with, and I don't know how much they sell for. And then if I look on sold listings, it's like a huge range in between, like, the lowest price to the highest price, so you never know. So that's a good item to put on at an auction. Pretty much like I'm so familiar with selling Clark shoes, I'll just price them right off the bat, and I don't mind if I can, if they're having a special, if eBay is having a buy it now special where you can list so many items that buy it now. Believe me, those Clark shoes are doing a buy it now, and I'm comfortable with that. So it depends on the person. You just have to get used to and start to know, what you're dealing with to kind of, judge that auction buy it now type thing. So, and that's another good way to, when you start ruling items out to, get rid of old inventory. If it's not going to sell after so long, you just kind of just get rid of it. I mean, I don't have a particular date in mind where, after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, I just get rid of stuff. It's not like that. I'll just, whenever I feel the need to kind of like sit down and go through my inventory, I'll decide which items need to, go on to buy it now and, kind of lower the cost, or I'll, put them at an auction. After I do a buy it now, I'll go to auction again at a lower cost. But if it still doesn't sell, then that's a really good hint to get rid of it, because you don't want to just keep it around forever. So if it still doesn't sell, you can do a number of things with it. You can take it back to the Goodwill. You can give it away. A lot of stuff I'll give away on freecycle.org, which is a really good organization for people who really can't, afford a lot of things. So they'll be happy to have that. And then in the summer times, a lot I'll have yard sales. So some of that stuff ends up in my yard sale. So it's so many different ways you can get rid of it. And then the last thing that I wanted to go over, I'm just, reading my little notes here. You want to make sure too that when you're getting, because a lot of times I'll set items aside, like if you have a store, or if you just do an auction where you just have like the 50 listings per month, and you don't want to use those all up, just go ahead. The stuff that you see that is not really selling, just, sit that to the side or get some more stuff and, sit that to the side. But just make sure you don't let it sit for too long, because if you don't have a listing system like the, I think it's called like Terapeak or something like that. If you don't have that, after 60 days, I think eBay will erase your listings. So you got to make sure that you do get those listings back out there. So that is the tip that I have for you today. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will be more than happy to help you with any questions, especially if you're just getting started. Just let me know. Put it down below, or you can just email me at mangoscloset@gmail.com, and I'll help you out the best I can. So take care until next time. Be good, and I'll see you later.